Imagine running a shadowy underground organization, taking control of a city from within, sending your agents out to do your bidding. Anyone who crosses your path meets their end with the sharpness of your blade. This is what Waiting for the Raven attempts to do. This sounds like a very interesting prospect, but can this title get the job done? As a disclaimer, I did receive a free code from Muscle Bird. While I do appreciate the free code, it will not deter me from a fair and honest review. Sounds good? Let's begin. You start the game and can choose one of 3 possible factions. Right now, only the Oracle of the Night is available at first. You can get the Constabulary faction unlocked during gameplay, and the other faction, the Secret Society of Flesh, are still in development, so who knows when they will be available to use. So you start off in your room in this new manor that you've basically locked yourself in because if you walked out somebody would kill you, and a raven appears to deliver you a message. It's basically no waiting here for the raven. You can read it and accept it, and this is your first quest. And the first quests and many of the quests in this game basically act as a tutorial from this point on. And there definitely is a good amount to understand, and it does do a great job in explaining the systems, and I'm going to now try to replicate it, so hopefully I do well. So most of your actions will take place on this map, and this map is easily reachable. It's on your desk, so you go there. You hire agents in your manor, and these agents perform a number of tasks, but early on you're going to have them produce a number of different resources for you, seen on the right hand side, and each of them are serve their own purpose. Connections can help hire more people, gold is used for buying buildings, and so etc, etc. They all have their own use, as I said before. And it's just not all about that cash money, boy. There's other things to worry about. At first, there just isn't much to do, as all you can really do is to gain resources. So you need to use some of those resources to research different actions, and this is when the game begins to expand. As you research certain actions that allow you to buy businesses or attack characters, so on and so forth, the game provides a message for some of these actions telling you what exactly they can do and how to perform it. So it's a nice way, along with the tutorial, to explain some of the mechanics featured in this game. The main objective as the Oracle of the Night is to expand your territory. So by doing this is you can send agents to explore your surroundings, use intrigue to learn about different places, and you can buy the buildings to set up businesses and make some money. You can have both legal businesses, and these can be used to boost reputation and to avoid any actions from the police, or you can do more shady businesses to boost your revenue as there's a higher yield for them. I personally just stuck with the legal businesses just because I was afraid of getting in trouble with the police, as they tend to patrol fairly often, so I decided to just keep it legal to help boost my reputation with different orphanages and also some taverns to boot. Now, certain actions and tasks you perform may require items for you to complete them. These can be bought at the market. One such action is hosting an event at a tavern. This will help to boost revenue, and to do this it requires a special kind of ale. And these items are also very important when carrying out assassinations, and we'll get into assassinations later on. Now, as you participate through the game, events will occur that require your attention, and here is kind of a choose your own adventure. Basically, you get a handful of choices to choose from depending on your items. There currently aren't many of these events that happen, not enough diversity between them, and because of this they tend to repeat. However, it doesn't happen too often, so it isn't too big of a hindrance. Now, what I really appreciate about this game, as I looked at it before I got the key and after playing it more, is that it just features so many elements from other kinds of genres. It's a bit of a hybrid as I played more and more, and I started getting vibes of the original Guild, not the Guild 3. That game is garbage, as I've explained, but more like the Guild 1 and 2 vibes here. One thing you can do is, outside of the map, you can also look around your room for many different secrets as you just open up drawers and cabinets, and you can also unlock different side quests. It's very interesting what they have here. And sometimes you can even get letters that will require you to decipher them, and this really made it feel like an old school adventure game back in the 90s. I really enjoyed this element, and it added so much to the immersion factor. I wish more games can introduce other elements like this and kind of mix genres in such a unique blend. It's really awesome. These kind of multi-genre elements can also be seen through espionage. So what you can do is you can collect clues about the character and you drag them to the appropriate attribute to figure out what their name is, what they look like, their personality, and where they can be. And this adds to the feeling of actually spying on somebody. So it's pretty cool kind of figuring things out instead of just clicking and having things resolve itself. And this whole element of piecing things together, specifically with people and putting all these clues together, is required if you plan on assassinating that person. As when you go to assassinate, you set up the plotters, the agent involved, the method, and the way of entrance. Now the thing is, depending on the assassination attempt that you would choose and the factors involved will determine the items that you do need required, as I mentioned before. And I really enjoyed this, as each assassination focuses on a different attribute, so you can really get the most with the best combination. I really enjoyed pulling off the kill, even though the combat itself was just pretty much automated after you have it set up and let it go through. It basically takes care of itself. And as I mentioned before, you can also play as the constabulary, and thankfully it's a much different experience compared to the Oracle of the Night. The room that you start out in is far different, as well as the map and the challenges. Honestly, it felt like a completely different game in a way. Even though some elements are shared, it definitely is a different approach, and you have to look at the game very differently than you would have as playing as the Oracle of the Night. So it's very interesting. I didn't get too much into it, but I can definitely see this being a pretty cool alternative. Honestly, I wish I can just stop the review right here and just co-sign and say everyone should just go out and grab it, but unfortunately I started to experience bugs the longer I played, and I get that this is expected for early access titles. Lately I've been lucky though on most early access titles. It hasn't really been the problem of bugs, just many of them have been featureless. But here it's definitely noticeable. And one of them is I couldn't even read a letter after reloading a game, and I thought it was minor, but unfortunately there are far worse bugs to experience, as another glitch I got basically froze the game when I was ending the turn, and I couldn't work around this one. I tried loading previous saves and going back as far as I could, but unfortunately I just could not complete the game. And I really hope these bugs are addressed in the future patch, because this is really the only fatal flaw that this game has, or really the only thing that's preventing me from recommending 100% to every single person. And like I said, I do recommend this one. I mean, the gameplay is a unique blend of various genres and is fairly feature rich. The concept itself is also pretty awesome, and there's a lot that I haven't mentioned, but I wanted to let you guys explore, because there's a lot of deeper elements that I didn't want to get too deep into. But unfortunately, like I said, it's just the bugs really ruin the game, and I've experienced more than one game-breaking bug, which is definitely not good. And I get it's early access, so hopefully these guys can patch it up, but until then I would say I recommend it. Beware of the glitches that you may encounter. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching as always, and this is Powerhouse signing off.